Here we are at the something. Cause I want to talk to you. Though you may not want me to, I'm still gonna talk to you. Or are you smacking an ass? What's happening here? You went.
There was an ass. There were a few asses.
Each row, you get it, you get it, you get it, you
smack it down the pew.
This is not church. Ooh, sacre bleu. Ooh.
I can't wait for my hair to get longer so I can actually like get this action going. Oh, you're not.
So are they
ready.
twists? Are they twists?
2-strand twist. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. I thought about doing that for like micro locks because I think I eventually want to micro lock my hair.
I can see that.
Because I think it's cute and you can still wear braids and stuff if you have micro locks. It's just your hair's, Right. But I'm going to let my hair grow out a little bit more. This is like the longest I've let my hair grow out. I used to just shave it all the time.
Well, like India Irie, like.
I am not my hair. I am not my skin. Listen, she was telling all the girls from Time. Right. I am the soul who lives within. Okay. Word to
my
India
hair
Irie.
Is my crown.
I have a friend who is white, and that is one of her favorite songs. My friend Avery, that is literally one of her favorite songs. I remember when I found that out, I was like,
we love an ally.
You know when you find out like a friend is like doing some black shit and you're like, wait a minute.
I was on a date with my partner and he was like, oh, have you seen This Christmas? That's one of my favorite films. And I was like, This Christmas? With Chris Brown?
That's a hood classic.
right.
Negro classic. Or one of my friends, he's watched The Color Purple like 4 times. And I was like, why have you seen the movie so many times? He's like, my mom just, I just always watched it. And I was like,
puts it on.
It's almost like race is a construct and we're all just people. It's almost like that.
Yeah, I rewatched The Color Purple with my white roommate recently. And I don't know if it's just like been like braided into my like.
Is it Topher? Did you watch it with Topher?
No, not Topher yet. Not yet. It was my other previous.
Oh my God. Can the 3 of us watch The Color Purple together?
And then I can quote every line.
Can we please? Look at you, Paul, black, ugly.
Oprah was like short-sticked, whatever it is. Like she was robbed. She should have got the Oscar.
She was robbed. She should have got the Oscar. I'm sorry. I'd kill him dead before I let Harpo hit me.
You told Harpo to beat me.
Oh, it's been so long since I've seen that movie. God, black trauma porn. There it is.
Black trauma porn. Yet we know what? Why is that? What's love got to do? Why does eat the cake anime such a ubiquitous phrase now?
Oh my God, what's love got to do with it? And why was I watching it as a child? Like those scenes were brutal. I'm sorry, they were wild. Is this a new iteration of the sit stop? We just start watching different TV shows and movies?
We should. And always dipping into the classics. Oh, y'all forgot about when Stella got her groove back? Oh, we'll remind you.
Oh, yes, we will. Oh, that's what we should do. We should watch how Stella got her groove back because that is a classic.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like Whoopi Goldberg had so many iconic black films and then just became a TV personality. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Listen, that's the dream. I'm sorry. I would love to do that. Just come on television every week. And basically what I'm doing on YouTube, except I don't have to write shit, do anything, do my own makeup, do anything. I just literally show up and talk. Do you know how much I dream about that?
I would watch you on the Today Show first. Well, maybe not the Today Show because that's a little sanitized, but I would watch you on like the Daily Show or
I have too many opinions for Midnight with Khadija for stuff like The View or something. Somebody was like, oh, you should be on The View. And then somebody else was like, Khadija can't be on The View. And I was like, I can't. I'm way too gay, way too loud. Like I'm just like, my face will say it before my eyes do, before my mouth does. And I will roll my eyes every other second.
You'll be the Raven Simone, except maybe less messy, more messy. I don't really know.
I don't. Okay, here's the thing. I love to watch mess. but I don't like to create it. That's me being as honest as I can. I love to watch mess. I'm sorry. I'm all about the Real Housewives of Potomac. I am invested, but I do not want to create mess. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Like you couldn't be a Wendy Williams type.
No, Wendy is too but I like to watch her. But I can't be, that takes a special kind of person to do that and sit in the fact that they're messy. Like for me, if I'm asking like a real question, I'm not trying to be messy. I'm genuinely curious. Whereas some people mask genuine sincerity as mask messiness for sincerity. They're like, no, I just want to know so that I can have all the gossip and tell everybody.
I'm just being real.
I'm like, no, I pride myself on being a secret box where people tell me things.
Yeah.
If other people find out about it, they didn't find out from me.
Well, or even if I like share a little tea, I'll just leave the names out. Like, oh yeah, I know
that
someone
too.
who went through this, blah, blah, blah. I am trying to embrace the messiness of like being like a person at like a brand or whatever. But yeah, I guess similarly, I don't know if I could be the instigator. Like I can't be the Tiffany Pollard of my generation. I just don't have
It's a special kind of brand. Like Tiffany Pollard, she's a special kind of gal. It's true.
That's true. That's true. And it works on her because people like that. People like the messy, what's her name? Azalea Banks. They like the Tiffany Pollard, like those personalities.
Azalea has a bit more sociology behind her, but still, even if she's not a student of it, there's a bit more of that going on in her mind, I think. Right. I think Tiffany was just a bit messy to be messy, which is still fun. Like let's remove the stigma from the word messy.
Yes. Life is messy. Humans are messy. Let's all get fucking messy.
We are all messy. We all love Sean and Freude. So let's just get into it.
That's true.
Just accept it about yourself.
I mean,
Rumi says it. If you can't appreciate the darkness in you as well as the light, then you're not being honest with yourself. He didn't say it exactly like that. I was having a witchy meditation with some Rumi on Sunday.
Who is Rumi?
Oh, it's a famous poet, Persian poet. And he is, I'm going to send you a video.
Yeah.
He died in like I think it's the 1200s. Yeah.
Wow.
But his work is still very, very profound. Like it's still very relevant. I don't know. I just love, my dad sent me like 30 minutes of someone talking and like reading his quotes and things. And it just brought me so much peace. And so I did like yoga and meditated Sunday to the blue moon to it. And it was just so like, I just felt like I'm feeling like I think I've spent this whole year trying to get back into myself. And I feel like I've just now in the last like few days started to get back into myself since like January.
You're feeling grounded again.
Yeah, in a way that I haven't been feeling for so long.
That's interesting because when I went on my family trip the last weekend, I felt that sense of, I was kind of pondering what makes you feel grounded. And I realized for me, it's like going back to someplace familiar. Like we were in the mountains and I've spent a lot of time in the mountains in my life. So it's like, oh, okay, I can breathe here. Like I can take my shoes off and feel the dirt and feel like this is who I am, which is interesting because it's like, I don't want to live there right now, but that sense of peace is so, can't trade it for anything.
It's important. Like I'm just like, there was a summer that I had spent literally by myself working a lot, working 2 jobs, and then in between them or whatever on days off, I would just go to the park and read. I would meditate every morning. I would cycle early in the mornings. Like it just was like something that like helped me like feel like myself. And I had been trying to chase that feeling again for a long time without knowing how to get it. And I just like, and Rumi says this too, but this is something that I fundamentally believe in. I think anyone that you read this very spiritually, whatever, new agey will say this. It's like you have to keep letting your heart break and break until it breaks open. And I feel like my heart broke open last week. I posted a video on Patreon. It was so wild. I was like crying in it. It was a bit much. I tried to keep it cute, but it was still like, I'm tired. And everyone was so supportive and so nice, but it was just like, I don't know. I feel like I had to allow myself to let it break open so that I could just like come back.
I was in like that breaking open makes me think of, I was in an acting class a few months ago, and they gave us a scene where one of the stage directions was they cry uncontrollably. It was like written by I want to say Susan Laurie Parks, and she did like a 100-day play, like she wrote mini plays for 100 days based on the first 100 days of the Trump presidency. And in it, like me and my partner was like, oh yeah, I can't really like cry on command. Like that feels so like, I don't know, it feels quite fake. Like we can do other things to represent crying. Like we don't have to do that. So we go up to the scene, to our teacher, we do the scene. It's on Zoom, by the way. And her husband is also there. He's like kind of co-teaching with her, which I thought was kind of cool. Both professional actors. And he was like, so tell me why you didn't cry. And I was like, well, like, man, like it's, I just can't do it. At the end of the day, that's what I was trying to say. I just can't do it. And he was like, but have you like tried to do it? And I was like, I mean, not for like a long time, but like, I kind of viewed it as like, well, that's like a muscle, like to make yourself cry on command seems like something someone has to train themselves to do. And then he was like, how about you just try it? And I was like, I guess I'll try anything once. So we go into the scene and he's just like, if you need to stop and just like get to that point, you can. So we stopped. And then I realized in that moment that your boy can cry on command because there's a lot I can think about to kind of get me into that point.
Yeah.
And then like, once I found myself in that moment of, okay, I'm like, I'm not hyperventilating, but just like really letting loose. And I'd realized, oh, I don't like to do that because I feel out of control. But I feel like in order to get to that breaking part, you have to have those moments of, I'm like my energy is going to be a little chaotic before I can.
But here's the other thing. I think about that in terms of how do you know that you really have control if you don't let yourself lose control and measure yourself back? Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people will talk about, students more so are talking about this now with art schools, about how it's inappropriate for teachers to ask you to think about traumatic things to take you back to those places. And I think there's a valid argument there, but I also think we have a lot of muscles that we can't see. Right. And one of those muscles is the practice of feeling your emotions, but not letting them consume you, or going to those places and knowing how to bring yourself back. Any professional actor has to deal with that, right? So for me, yeah, I just think like, I understand the argument against it, but I also think you don't have to think about not necessarily you don't have to think about a super traumatic moment, but we all know what it feels like. I'm such an emotional feely person. So I'm just like, we just need to, if more people understand their feelings, it's easier to get to them, recognize them, understand, label, all that stuff, and regulate them. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm talking a lot about the ruler method, but anyway.
Because yeah, I agree. I don't think you always have to dredge up trauma, because honestly, I was crying because I thought about the climate crisis.
But that's it, right? Like sometimes the catastrophe of the world ending, you could sit and just stop for a second and think, everybody I know, met, hate, love, whatever is going to die one day. And that could bring you there, I and the thing that I love so much as well, I'll probably have this Rumi stuff memorized by the time I'm done, because I'm going to try and meditate to it every few days. But it's the wound is where the light comes in.
Yeah.
And there's so much, and people always say that, any spiritually, whatever, people always say, you learn the most when you are in those dark times. Right. And for me, that's anyway, this is so random. This has nothing to do with the sit stop. What are we doing today? I'm so sorry.
Well, we are starting our own little witchy meditation circle, it seems like.
We're treating this like it's a podcast.
It sort of has become pseudo quasi podcast.
Maybe we should just make it a podcast.
Let me get to know ya, show ya. 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 Ain't no good, y'all way too bad.
So yeah, welcome to it. We've already taken your shoes off. You're already here. You probably made already drinks. So
you've had tea. You're chilling.
Your cat's next to you. Like we're comfy.
Exactement.
So we finally get to the game within a game.
Or AKA Silky Nutmeg Ganache's episode. This is her episode.
Drag race.
Silky's drag race. This is her episode.
Okay. I have many thoughts, but the first thing I'll say is that for the first time in a while, I feel like the twist was equitable to what was necessary to advancing the show. I feel like the fact that they made the queens watch the journey of it all, because then that
yes,
gives legitimacy as opposed to like, oh, you're back, well, you're going to be gone next week.
Exactly. Yeah. I 100% agree. I think this was a much better way to do this, especially because it was every week we're still fighting. Like I may not have competed in the challenge this week, but every week I was still doing shit. And Silky was treating every week like she was performing solo
or the final lip sync. She was lip syncing for the crown every week.
Every week. Like I think she came out of this it was like a real like underdog hero story. And this was great television. I'm sorry. This was fantastic television.
Because I was so sad to see her go. I was like, wow, she did so great.
So early.
And then like, she's gone. But then it's like, oh no, she was pulling stunts his entire
She remembered herself. She got eliminated and was like, it's time for me to, she got grounded. Okay, so we've come full circle.
There we go.
She got grounded right back. It's all connected, baby.
What do you think about the top 4 though, before we get into the thick of it?
It's Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could have been any of them, honestly. Any of them could have been replaced with Eureka. Well, Eureka, I kind of think it was Eureka's time to go, actually. Like, I'm not upset that she got eliminated. I was kind of sad, but I was like, it's fair. Like, this top 4 makes sense to me.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I think it was Eureka's time to go, and she knew it. I mean, we all knew it. It was like...
I don't think she knew it. I think she was quite devastated. I don't think she knew it. I don't think she... Jerome, she wasn't Pandora. She was like, I should be here still.
Like,
sorry, hold on. I got another... I'm just getting packages today.
Oh, your
What was I going to say? I need to get a P.O. box for that. My home address?
Yeah, not the home address, no.
I mean, I live with my brother, but he's not going to protect me if some shit happens.
No.
He's going to be the first one out the door. Ungrateful ass.
You brought this on yourself.
That's what you get for talking shit on the internet every week.
They found you, didn't they?
Not they found you, didn't they? Yo, you got flowers?
Cammy wanted me to get these for you.
I ruined the surprise.
Yeah, you opened the door all wide.
Yeah.
This is for you too. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, do it.
How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? You got me these flowers with my sister in the bride. How fucking dare you? I love flowers. And this is a sunflower. This is one of my friend's favorites. Oh. I guess I'm having wine.
Sit stop, episode 4, take 2.
Okay. So, sorry, that was such a cute surprise. We're talking about, I know, I have the best girlfriend ever. Who never wants to be on camera. Doesn't want to do it. She's like,
don't put me on. Can I show you? This is something wild that my partner's done for me that I still don't know what he wants me to do with it. For a Christmas, and he was like, oh, I got you like a Christmas gift. And I was like, okay, like, and he's really good at gift giving. But this one is a blanket with our picture on it.
That is so funny.
I'm never gonna put this on the couch or anything.
It's so funny though. That's some shit. Oh my God. That's like can he tell me where he did that? Because I want to do that to people.
I'll ask him.
You know how funny it would be if somebody just sent you a blanket with a picture of their face? I would die. I actually think it's funny.
No, it is. It's like, whoa, you really thought this one out.
It's like a gift, but also a prank, which I love. It's a double entendre. I'm kidding. Okay, sorry. So where were we? We were talking about the top four. You said that it was chill, Eureka's time to go. And now, do you want to start with the lip syncs or?
Let me say a few things. And then yes, the first thing is Trinity commented that she was receiving the bitter edit, that she was like kind of bitter throughout the entire episode. But the interesting thing is that like, that was a long day for them. Like they start filming and all that at 6 a.m. And they were having them do like watch all those lip syncs at 11 p.m. So I was like,
that is a lot.
I'm not bitter. I was tired.
That's fair. No, because I'm sorry. That was the first thing I actually thought, because I realized, okay, they've had a whole episode. Like we've had a week. They have not. We're catching up to them at the end of the night.
Right.
Firstly. Secondly, were they all tucked and shit? Like Raja was like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, that is a long day. That was the first thing I thought.
Right. They have no time to actually like unwind. They didn't de-drag during it. Trinity's in this like cat outfit. Hot, more than likely. Like, I get it.
Probably. And the makeup and stuff, it's a lot. I get it.
I mean, of course I can understand her being like, you know, another person coming in here, like I got this far. Like, it's just like another obstacle. Like I can get the frustration around that. But I don't think it was fair that every time they showed her on screen. And I think because the way, like, you know, how Kat's faces are, she kind of was like.
I know they were being a bit shady, but she was getting into it towards the end because it was hard not to with how fun Silky was making the performances. Right. So, yeah, but I do agree that like, yeah, she was not bitter. She was tired, and that makes sense. Like, it's funny because they're like, girl, we're going to call you Eeyore. And I'm like, Trinity probably has that kind of personality. Yeah, I think that's why her and Eureka get along so well, because they're opposites in that way. But yeah, I agree. I would have been tired. I'm someone who needs my sleep and I need my food. If y'all haven't fed me, if we're just drinking alcohol and I haven't slept, yeah, I would be more of us. You know why people get so annoyed about it is because more of us are like Trinity than we want to admit.
That's okay. Now
so just be honest. If we were tired, like, I'm sorry, if I was on the episode and I was tired, I can't say that I would have been like Raja and been all happy and been like, oh shit. I would have been like, wait, can I just like take a break?
Funny enough, I feel like for me, there's like hold on. I'm choking on my own spit. There's like for me like a dip, right? Like if I'm tired, it's like sing. But if I'm tired enough, I get loopy. Like
second wind. Oh yeah.
I'll say shit I would not normally say.
And I think maybe that's what happened to Trinity too. She like was exhausted, and then all of a sudden she was just like, you know what, we're here. Let's just do it.
Like her catchphrase. Oh, this is some bullshit. I heard her say that so many times.
Trinity is so funny. I'm sorry. Everyone's confessionals this year has been so funny. This might be one of the most fun times I've had watching Drag Race in a while.
It feels a little more dynamic than like single story, which I think is what's making it much better. And then also
everyone has their bit.
And I like that when Kylie said, okay, my alcohol's kicking in and now I'm feeling it. And I never thought of it that way. I guess it do kick in. Yeah. Okay. So the first lip sync is Miss Serena Cha-Cha and Miss Jiggly Caliente.
I knew Jiggly was going to win.
Yeah.
You know when some queens lip sync and they're trying to show you that they know the words? It's like,
yeah.
That is always weird to me because it's like you're singing the song, so just sing it. Like,
right. I want it to look. It needs to look like it's coming out of your mouth, not that it like no one's actually sings for their entire like you know.
That's weird.
Yeah, I thought Serena looked better, and I'm sorry for the Jiggly stands out there. I don't think Jiggly's drag is caught up with like her makeup. Phenomenal. The hair, phenomenal. But the drag, it's
true.
It don't do it for me. You don't do it for me.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Right.
just how expensive, and that's probably a lot of things because it's expensive. Like drag is fucking expensive. So I don't know, but Jiggly wins.
Mm-hmm.
No surprise.
None.
Were you happy? Were you like, yeah?
Well, I lived for Jiggly and I was sad to see her go. So I was happy that she won, but I feel bad for Serena because she basically has been placed on the show as a placeholder. Like
she's got eliminated first like 3 times.
Damn.
I'm just saying, it's a cold world.
Damn.
It's cold. Where am I lying?
I did not detect any lies.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Just like that mentality of her going on the show and like after leaving the show, like, damn, never even made it past the 3rd episode. That sucks.
Yeah, it does actually. Because it's like you have a vision for yourself of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it just isn't either popping on television or people just don't care about it. And that's a shitty feeling for sure.
So apparently the way that they filmed this, they filmed the game within a game at the beginning of the day, and then they do the full episode. So it's kind of funny that Silky is just kind of there for like weeks at this point and like just avoiding them. Like she just gets there in the morning and then just like doesn't see them again.
So damn, like RuPaul's in drag all day.
All day. I mean,
and those guest hosts.
The guest hosts are there for a long. Shout out to the Queen Charlie XCX who had to stay through 3 lip syncs
because Miss Tina wasn't gonna do it. Tina was not gonna do it. No.
I said, y'all lucky, and I'm gonna stay for this one. So we get to Jiggly and Silky, Dr. Reverend,
and then
Nutmeg.
Dr. Reverend. I fucking love when RuPaul gives them extra names. LaGuardia, Newark, Kennedy Davenport. What? Nina Bonina Brown Bader Ginsburg. What? It's so funny. Nina Bonina Brown, Jessica Parker. Like what?
I will say Ru was at her funniest this episode too. Just the way that she was delivering the lines and just like
at the beginning of the day, you know?
I guess that's what her coffee kicking in. And then
coffee kicked in and she had energy. She was like, like what? I was like, this is fun. This is what I want to have.
This is
a show or something where I am ridiculous on it and people are just like, all right, girl.
I guess it's you. You doing like, you. So I think the first Silky, like, it was so legendary. I mean, I'm sorry, Jiggly did not have a chance in hell.
What was the song again?
Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Because as she was making the drink,
oh my! When I tell you, I was howling in this room when she pulled out that Crown Royal. I was like, Silky. Silky. And then she just started drinking and was like,
was doing the lip sync.
It was. I was like, this is your new bit. If anybody tries to take food out of their breast, it's like when Roxy took off the wig within a wig.
Right.
Silky just did it. Pulled out a whole meal. She could have pulled out. She said, you don't know what I have underneath here? It might be a Buick before. Like later on, I was like.
And like Raja with the facts. How did the ice not melt? You know she did not have that. It was cold. It was ready.
Explain the science, because the science is not sciencing. Okay, where is Albert Einstein? Because that don't make sense.
That was no baby. That wasn't an airplane bottle. There were no airplane bottles. Those are all full.
She had a Mickey of Crown Royal and some cranberry juice. Incroyable.
It's that funny thing where like she didn't tell the producers at all. They were just like, well,
They were like, we can't get that cleared, Silky. You can't just have Crown Royal. Like, do you know that this is a national what? Now we got to blur this out in post.
And what I think what made the episode special for her is the fact that through all the lip syncs moving forward, there was like a little bit of mess to it, but I think that's drag. Like it wasn't so clean cut, polished. It
felt like a drag show.
Like a drag show because he's like, I don't know what's gonna happen, and then whatever happens, I'm just like, wow, like this is.
She would have been getting dollars.
Well, did you see that actually? In which I want to just put a plug on here about this, that her Cash App, like people were sending her tips throughout the episode, and she's been getting tips and Venmos, and like. Let's be clear, RPDR should put the Venmo or the Cash App of the Queen.
Yes, that's actually genius.
Money, right?
They should do that. We don't have Cash App in Canada. Oh my gosh, yes. I loved it. I just had so much fun watching her. Like it was just fun. And I wish, I think that's something that they should implement in the show of like having the Queen's Cash App or Venmos down below so people can tip them because like RuPaul, you have enough money. Stop being greedy. Just
he earns like around $1 million an episode. Like it.
Okay, you have more than like that's something I never understand. We're gonna quickly have a rant about capitalism and then we're gonna move on. I just don't understand how you can have that much money and know that the people that are making the show possible don't have the same, or even if they don't have the same, maybe they can't have the same because it's your, intellectual property. Fine,
right?
But like if you get $1 million. And people are only making like 50,000, like even like it's exploited. It's wild. It's wild to me.
Well, because it's not like the Queens. Sorry. The Queens get only but so much money per episode that they stay on. That's one thing. But the other like part of the coin is how like it is a drop in the bucket to give the Queens a stipend prior to coming on the show so they can seek out designers, they can seek out the material they need so they can actually meet the level of expectation that is now required to be on Drag Race. I mean,
I think that's something that they're going to have to do now. Yeah, they're going to have to do that now because before it was about the Queens doing it themselves.
Right.
Now they're going to have to think about something like that. Or the other thing is that prize at $100,000, RuPaul, it should be $500,000.
The
prize should be up now. It should be up now. It's been too many years.
My friend who's visiting right now, actually, she watched Drag Race with us for the first time last night. And she had said like 100,000. Big Brother gives $750,000.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So it's like, wait, I haven't even thought about the fact that like they are not being properly compensated at all.
I'm sorry, especially if you have someone like the Gottmik that spends $60K on Drag Race. You made $40K. If you won, okay, cute.
Right.
But that's like, nothing.
Well, it's exploitative in the manner that of like, we're going to like, we're going to use your labor in order to get the Emmys, in order to get the shows, in order to get the bookings. But when you want to like really return on your investment, then like, no, you cannot do XYZ thing until after a year or after 5 years. When
those contracts are wild. Right? No.
I think it's important. And especially when drag has become so digital now as well. And like, people are consuming Drag Race from all across the world. So like,
yeah,
it just makes sense because like, unfortunately, some queens would never travel to a country where like homosexuality is criminalized.
But which is a lot of countries. We always forget. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I will say also when Silky walked out in that like cheetah print with the little pussycat wig, or it wasn't a pussycat wig proper, but like that short wig. She looks so good. She looks so good.
So cute.
So cute.
So then she won though.
She won. Definitely agreed. Blew her out of the water. And the thing is that I think was said on another review show, like they have to treat these lip syncs aren't like, let me just do a little dance and lip sync. You have to treat it like it's a final lip sync. We've come to expect that you have done the homework because everything that Silky was doing was attuned to the song. Like it made sense. Girls just want to have fun. Girl was drinking. Like, yeah, we do.
I love that she didn't reveal too soon. Because that's the thing. She like paced it out. I think even with all of her tricks and stunts, she paced them out. She didn't just do it immediately.
So then after that, the next lip sync was
why do I know?
Yara Sofia. It was Yara Sofia. So one thing that someone brought to my attention, like about Yara Sofia and just her look in general. Have you noticed that the eye contacts that she used is very like reminiscent of like husky dog eyes, and that's why it's a little like alien-esque?
They're very blue. They're very blue. I mean, I don't love the contacts. Like when Coco Montrese used to wear contacts a lot, I was like, ma'am. Particularly out of drag, I was like, what are we doing? But I don't know. It doesn't really bother me that much. I don't love them, but I'm not like, this is ruining the look or the fantasy. For me, I'm just like, oh, it's just not my taste. But
as a Black person, like, what do you? Because I have an opinion on this. What do you think about like queens of color wearing blue eye contacts?
I think that there's a certain level of awareness that you have to draw to why blue eyes are deemed as more beautiful. But at the same time, it's a matter of opinion, right? Like, I don't think blue eyes are more beautiful. I think people with like dark brown eyes, maybe even green eyes, those are eye colors that I think are cute. But like, I've never really been attracted to someone for having blue eyes. Like, that's just not something that I personally like. So if it's to the queen's taste, like I've worn colored contacts before too, like, you know, Halloween costumes and stuff, and like was scared at first, but then realized, oh, it actually does look pretty cool. Like if my eyes were this color, like gray or whatever, it would look kind of cool and interesting. So I see why people do it. I just, for me, I just like it when they look a bit natural, but that's my taste, right? Like,
I feel like I can't divorce the fact that like blonde hair, blue-eyed, Eurocentric beauty standards is like a part of the history of it all. And it, to me, I agree that if it fits the aesthetic or if it's like for the experimentation of it, yeah, sure. But I think to make that the moniker or like the theme or the like motif of your drag, that kind of feels a little weird to me. Like it's always blue.
I think the difference though between like a Yara Sofia and a Coco Montrese is that like Coco's gonna be Black at the end of the day no matter what, or racialized as Black no matter what. So whether you wear blue contacts or not, you're still gonna be that same color.
Okay.
Whereas if you can pass for white to an extent, there's a different relationship to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I think it's tough to untangle that with like the sort of racial stigma or the institutionalized part of it all. Like I wish we could
it's
have
hard.
like a legitimate, like biologically, this is what happened here, blah, 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 without it being like just always sort of bucking up against white supremacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that that's something that now, at least in terms of how I think about it, we as individuals have to start considering like our responsibility of that, so that further and further down the line, the systems can change too. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think a top down and bottom up approach is important. And I think about thinking of those things simultaneously. So maybe it's hard for individuals to divorce the idea of blue eyes as you wanting to look white or appear more Eurocentric and stuff like that. But maybe it's about us as well, removing that stigma from it or removing our preconceived notions of it, because we have the power to, and then combating that on a systemic level. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's like, even like hearing that, it's like me thinking, okay, why do I feel a little like unable to divorce it? Then it's like, even though I don't think that's what I'm trying to like, what's the word, promulgate, but it's like, oh, maybe I'm like accusing someone of race trading if like they have like blue eyes all of a sudden, like, oh, that's not cool.
And that's not fair, because they're still the same race, but also race is not real. So it's like the more and I'm not going to say talk about it, but the more like identify within that, the more we reify that idea. Like we can all sit here every day and say race is a construct, but every time you're like, well, that's just what Black people do. You're contradicting yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Sorry, I've just been reading about this theory of racelessness stuff and like, I'm just.
I think it's, you might know the word or the term specifically, but there is a lot of conversations I feel like in abolitionist and socialist circles that talk about like, well, if we do just erase race and gender and everything and focus solely on class, is that what we need to do in order to like uproot the system? But
I mean, I'm starting to lean into that a bit more. I'm not fully committed yet because I'm still, you got to look at everything with a bit of a side eye, a bit of a squint. But I do really look up to people that unite people of all different backgrounds, that occupy different bodies. And it's always about a class struggle. And I think that that's very important.
This is called Race, Gender, and Politics and RuPaul's Drag Race.
Thank you. Welcome to your first session.
The literature is in the comment section.
In the syllabus, in the comment section. The description is the syllabus.
Yes.
Okay, so Silky is up against Yara Sofia. What was the song again? I honestly can't remember it.
Something that required Yara to scratch her vagina during it. What was it?
There was a guitar. A fake guitar, and Silky was pouring water. But no, Yara was pretending to be his guitar.
Oh, yeah.
With her legs.
Yes. I thought it's funny how much Yara yelps. She's like, ow!
Somebody just
yelping.
makes a super cut of Yara yelping.
I thought that was interesting. But I also found that she again relied on body humor. Like she relies a lot on like, how can I use my body? It's clown work, so to speak. But it kind of could feel, and we've talked about this before, but like her kind of relying on the crassness of it is like, girl.
Yeah.
You got to find something else.
I think I liked when she said, do you need help repacking? I was like, oh my God. So funny. So funny. But I also think that Silky Debe Ganache, can we just talk about the primer? Can we talk about the base? Because she poured water on her face and the water was like Teflon onto her skin was like Teflon. It was just like, no.
I don't know how that happened. I was like, shouldn't it like ruin her makeup? Nope.
I'm not a makeup person, so I am assuming it's primer. Okay. But yeah, she did the damn thing. It was fun to watch again. So, she won and I was like, yeah.
Yep. And it's funny because at that point around this her winning that lip sync, I was like, okay, Silky is turning it. Like this.
I was like, is Silky coming back?
Right. And then of course I'm like, oh, okay, let me get my calculator out. She got a lot more lip syncs to get through if she can hold
it. It was so many.
Oh my God. Like,
sorry, I'm pulling up the episode so I can see the songs. Okay, we're back. Sorry. What are you doing?
I was a Halloween
I think I was around a Halloween conception too.
That checks out.
Not Halloween, but like earlier. I was a couple months earlier. I was supposed to be born in July, actually.
I was supposed to be born in June. So there we go.
Hey.
This is called the Primos. The Primos stuff.
The Primos. Okay, so I pulled it up because I realized that they did a lip sync to a Celine Dion song, her and Scarlet Envy.
Okay, Scarlet looked so good.
Scarlet, and that wig, the fact that it wasn't like falling around while she was doing all the things.
Oh, was it Song for the Lonely? Was that the one they did?
Yes, and then Silky did the twirling with the flag.
Why did that song so good?
It did. I was like, this is so inspirational. Yeah.
Song for the Lonely.
Oh. Yeah, Scarlett looks incredible.
Oh wow.
She looked incredible.
That boot. Oh.
I can't with Carson. So again, Silky wins. No surprise.
No surprise.
It was so cute.
I felt bad for Scarlett because I do feel like when some of the queens lost, it was like, fuck, that's it. And
that's it. Yeah.
It's sad, but and I feel like Scarlett could be a queen who would probably be like a Pandora, would come back on again, maybe like a few years from now and really clean up.
Yes.
But I think she was a little underappreciated, honestly, on this season. Like her drag was always.
I think so. Her drag was always really good. I think she should have won more things than she did, right, to be fair, or at least won something. Right. But either way, she doesn't win. And then it's Miss Ass Almighty.
Miss Ass Almighty has
I will never call her anything else. She has to be called Miss Ass Almighty. I'm sorry.
It's so good.
It's fantastic. But she's up against her and she doesn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
I respect her. And I think we are kind of in this zone right now of having a cultural conversation around when like Black creators want to sort of like take a step back and say like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And I think
this isn't good for me.
This isn't good for me. I came here and I had expectations. I did what I could. I want to go. And I think very similar to like, and of course on a different scale, but the Simone Biles like wanting to take a step back from the Olympic team. It's just, I feel like it's important to like not lean into the like, well, this is your opportunity and this is your chance, blah, blah, blah. Like, no,
sometimes it's not.
Sometimes it's not. It's not worth the like mental, you go?
No, go. Oh, sorry.
I say it's just not worth the emotional labor. And the mental labor, because that's something that we can't see, and you don't know what someone's going through and how they're feeling about it. We don't know that, like if Akira said, funny enough, and in a cheeky way, like she released a video of her and another queen who talked about it. She was like, I came to play Drag Race. I did not come to play a game within a game. I didn't want to do it. Okay, that's it.
Like, I just think part of knowing yourself and learning about yourself is also knowing when to say no.
Right.
I've just been thinking about this a lot lately because I like was burning myself out with YouTube stuff and sponsors and all of these things, thinking I had to say yes to everything, because we create this culture where like, if you don't say yes to everything, you're going to miss your opportunity and people are going to move on because we have such short attention spans. Right. But I'm just like, you know what? It takes a certain amount of stillness and trust in yourself and your craft and knowing of what you need to say, I need to not do this right now. I will come back when I feel like I can actually give it my best instead of just doing it for the sake of doing it. So I respect her for it.
And anytime you feel obligated to do something, you're not going to show up at your wittiest or at your most present. You're going to show up like, okay, when is this over?
Yeah, you're going to show up like, sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to be here. Like,
I'm glad she made a decision for herself, and like very similar to Ben de la Creme and other queens who said like, this is it. Okay. Like, and I think the Drag Race fandom still, I don't know what the healthy conversation to have around like people like Angina or Ben de la Creme who say, I need to exit the competition. Like, it's still so much focus on the meritocracy of it and how much I can get, like the fan base can squeeze out of the queens, that it's like, it's also us craving content, It goes back to what we said. You're treating these people like characters in a show that you're watching and not like human beings. Right.
And, that's just the problem, that I really am interested in fandoms and I want to do a whole deep dive on them. So that's also why I'm like, so like about it. But yeah, I think having that as well, it also takes vision and foresight, because it's easier to just see what's immediately in front of you and just go, well, why can't you just stick it out? Blah, 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 blah. Instead of going, how is this going to affect me a year from now? How is this going to affect me in the long run? Is this beneficial to me? Or should I just step out now? It's a matter of both. It's like you're simultaneously listening to yourself as presently as you can. You're in the moment and you're seeing the future, as opposed to you're not even seeing in the moment. You're looking 10 feet ahead of you.
And I think the fandom would they will want to infantilize like
is that the word
decision. Yeah, or the queen, as if you don't know what you're doing. You're clearly
you don't know what you want.
You're yada yada yada, which is one, that's not fair, and two, you're saying to legitimately consider quitting anything. When I legitimately considered quitting Peace Corps at one point, it ain't easy. It's a weak decision to quit. I think it's poisonous for us to always say never quit. Sure, there's certain moments where persistence is an important trait, but also, like you said, knowing yourself, being able to be grounded in the present and the future. That's just tactical planning. That is another good skill to have.
Thank you. There's a difference between discipline and working yourself to death. There's a difference. You can be because I used to think that they were the same thing. Work ethic and discipline are not the same thing. Because work ethic, you're working a lot, you work hard, but it doesn't mean you work smartly. Discipline requires focus and attention.
Right.
So it takes a lot of discipline to say, I'm going to not do this right now.
Right.
On my journey to doing the things that I want.
It is my life. I know how this is going to affect my body, and I'd rather not incur those costs.
But we got a great lip sync out of it.
Oh, Barbie girl lip sync will go down next to the bar, the taking all the liquor out of her bra. This was, wow.
I was angry. I was like, Silky, I almost threw my MacBook out the window. I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now? What am I watching right now? And then when RuPaul was like, you are out of your damn mind, I was like, that's it.
That's what it is. But it's funny because it's what was she going to wear that outfit for originally? Why did she bring that with her?
That's what I also want to know. Where are all these outfits coming from?
Ginger Min said, oh, well, I guess we did get two people for the lip sync.
It was a bit messy, yes. The blonde was a bit messy.
Yes.
But just the fact that she turned around and was like, come on, boy. RuPaul was dying. Let's just observe quickly and silently how RuPaul is literally dying. Everybody was feeling it. It just was the making out with herself at the look at this. It was so fun. Oh, Silky just the pandemic has been hard, and Silky just gave us joy for an hour. She literally just gave us joy for an hour. So
good. And the little baby hairs too,
the freaking weird sideburns, the fact that it was a 70s disco.
Right.
Her and Jan.
Okay, yeah, so getting into it, Jan stomping down the runway, just angry, was such a mood. I don't know why I live for I'm not taking your shit, Jan. Because her in the lip sync, I'm not gonna lie, up until she took out the guitar, Jan was gonna win that lip sync.
I thought so too. I was like, uh-oh, Silky, this might be it. And then Silky busted out the guitar and I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah, that. And then of course, where did the guitar come from? We'll never know.
The guitar was on stage. Y'all are tripping. You see how big her poofy outfit was? The guitar was literally resting on the stage. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see.
Maybe at this point, the producers are like, you need anything? Anything we can do for you?
Well, Silky did say that she made all of her own costumes. She was annoyed that people thought she didn't. But here, let's see if we can see it, because I'm pretty sure it's on the thing. Oh, yeah. Oh.
I feel if she brought this all season, Jan would have been in the top 4 for sure.
She would have. Yep. Okay, maybe I didn't see the guitar. Maybe the
there
guitar
it was. Yeah,
she put it off.
She got it off the ground. Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, Silky busted out the guitar. The fact that they were both kicking their legs together, I love when queens lip sync together. And then when Silky did the tongue thing with the guitar, that was when she won.
Oh, good.
Hey,
Also-
Jan, at least you got to lip sync for Miss Tina Knowles. So Silky won again.
Silky won. I think, yeah, it was neck and neck up until the guitar, but I do agree and also just the momentum of Silky at this point felt like, okay, Silky's got it.
I was like, she has to win this one.
Wait, do you remember when she said, Silk with the good milk, Jan, she's a man? I was like, that's so rude. That's so rude. So the next one was Pandora, yeah?
Yes, it was. She was wearing that beautiful lingerie. Hey, boo, what's up? Come up and see me sometime. I'm going to put it on the
screen, but she and Charlie Hyde literally were wearing the same outfit.
I'm done with you.
The iconic.
I'm done with you.
Broken rib.
She did look like Charlie Hyde. You're right. Oh my God. Because I was at first looking at her and I was like, hasn't she worn that outfit before? And I was thinking of Charlie Hyde. That is wild.
Okay.
Oh, broken rib just standing.
Pointing. She said I was feigning masturbation. That's a bad masturbation, girl.
I'm like, girl, just stop lying.
Right.
To yourself and to us. Just stop.
Pandora didn't have a chance in hell in winning.
She did not have a chance. After she said a 5-week winning streak, Pandora nodded like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was the Ariana Grande song, no tricks, just that outfit that's Silky had on.
That's the thing. People are forgetting. She didn't use tricks for everything. She used it for a lot, but like the Barbie girl thing, she didn't use a trick. That was a costume.
Yes.
So she didn't use a prop for that.
Yes.
Technically, she had a flag, the alcohol, and a guitar so far.
Right.
But the other 2 or 3, it was costuming because she was trying to look like Ariana Grande with that outfit.
Which I thought I loved it. I loved I always love when the larger queens do wear shorter stuff where it's not just covering up everything. I think that's
and also she found those high top sneakers. And usually people would look at you sideways for not having a heel and drag, but I don't know. I thought it was fine because it fit the look.
RuPaul said a sensible sneaker.
I know. I was like, uh-oh. That was shady. That was shady.
She wins. You agree?
Yes, because also one thing I realized about this was Silky can dance. And I don't think we've gotten to see her. She was like,
I was like, yes.
Focus on me. I don't think we realized that Silky can dance. We don't get to see her busting out the moves. I don't remember that on her season. So this was so fun.
So we finally get to the final lip sync. We've watched so many lip syncs and all of them been pretty good. This it's funny because with the previous I got a little bored. I was like, okay, this is kind of just happening over and over and over again. Whereas this one, I was like, oh, what's she gonna do next?
I was actually very invested in this one. The first Lollapalooza I wasn't that invested in, but this, because you also knew that all the queens, the queens that were still in the competition were gonna stay. You were just there wasn't any oh, who's gonna take it? Whereas when they're competing against each other to come back in, I don't know. Anyway, it just was good.
Yeah.
But then we have the iconic Since You've Been Gone. I'm sorry. Can we talk about Kelly Clarkson in the mid 2000s and how her album was literally everything? Since You've Been Gone, Behind These Hazel Eyes, Breakaway. I'm sorry. That album? Are we
good?
People need to put respect on Kelly Clarkson's discography, okay?
Oh,
I remember singing Breakaway and just being like, I spent my reason, I learned how to fly.
Between that and Come Clean by Hilary Duff, baby, I'm crying.
Oh, Come Clean. Wow. The mid 2000s were when the white girls were giving it to us. And I am not angry. I'm sorry. I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I feel we need to have then and now, because now we have Olivia Rodrigo.
Everyone's doing the same Eilish, stuff, kind of though. Everyone's doing the same kind of stuff. There's a new genre emerging that you can't really define. It's still pop, but it's a fusion of indie meets a little bit of hip hop and R&B beats. There's a nice
It's actually
mix.
the ubiquitousness of Jack Antonoff. He's produced most of these albums that are like becoming super popular. And that's
Are you
like,
serious?
Yep, it's Jack Antonoff
Okay.
of Bleachers. It's very much like a Timbaland era. Like,
Timbaland gave us the whole late 2000s. Timbaland
did it. Little side note for those watching, 1 in a Million by Aaliyah, the second album is finally on streaming services. Download it now and re-listen to this Aaliyah album.
Okay, I'm doing it now because her uncle
gosh.
finally decided he wanted money.
Your love is a one
in a million.
It goes on.
It goes on and on and on. Ooh, I'm downloading this album. Here we go. At
so
the library.
I got my hair
1 in a million.
And I was like, yes.
If your girl only knew, 4-page letter.
Oh.
R.I.P. Aaliyah. She was like, I was a really big fan of hers. Anyway, sorry, but yes.
So music defining artists with this lip sync, it kind of it's funny, right? It was right in the middle because Silky had a story. It wasn't executed in the best way that it could have been, but she did what she could. I think she stalled too long on taking off the Missy Elliott Super Duper Fly thing.
I got excited with the Missy Elliott Super Duper Fly because at first I was like, I thought that they were going to play either Super Duper Fly or what's my favorite Missy Elliott song that people be sleeping on, Sock It To Me.
Oh.
Sock It To Me. Why hasn't anyone sampled that beat? Like, not anyone. I know people probably have, but why haven't people sampled that beat now? That beat, when I hear that, I'm like, that beat is incredible. I'm sorry. Why haven't people? Yeah, I started to understand the story, but the execution wasn't that great. Yeah. And like, I think Eureka just looked really good. I think she looked really invested in the song. Yes.
The only thing with Eureka, which was kind of funny too, like her wig was falling off. She had to readjust it. But I
didn't notice it did.
Yeah, it was slipping back a little. And she had to like readjust it while like Silky couldn't get out of the costume. It was like a weird final finish. But I think all she did, she just kind of did the same sort of like kick flip things that she does. And I was like, I know that you just got like news to do this lip sync, and like for like what you got, like I feel like in the end when she was like, I can't remember what the line is, but it was like, this is what I've always wanted or something like that. And she was praying. I was like, well, that's iconic.
I get what I want.
Yeah. And she was like this. I was like, okay. Like when it ended, I was like, Eureka could win this.
We had a true lip sync Lollapalooza, and it actually was a lot of fun. Silky Nutmeg Ganache, you're probably not going to see this, but if you ever do, thank you. Just thank you, because we had such a good time. I really enjoyed it. Even talking about it again, I'm like, this was so fun. The song choices were fun. Everyone was a good sport. Everyone gave it their all, like nobody was just like kind of phoning it in my opinion, at least. People were still trying, and I think it was really fun.
Silky will get booked a lot. This definitely redeemed the whole like.
What did Trixie say? One of them was like, "Oh, I saw her booking fee go up each lip sync." I was like, "Oh yes, Miss Silky Nutmeg Ganache, you better be charging the girls coins to book you somewhere, because we will go. I will go. I will pay."
We know that she's going to give a good lip sync. She's going to give a great time. She's going to be a great personality, and I think it is that. This season is all about redemption and like seeing the queen self-actualize or change, like transition out of how we saw them before. And I do think this is like one of the better all-star seasons for that reason. It's like,
honestly, I love it.
Now we know that Silky, she's gonna be fine. If she doesn't win or whatever, she's gonna be good.
I will pay to see Silky Nutmeg Ganache pull alcohol out of her breast. I will pay. What is your fee, Silky? You just tell me and I will pay for it, because I want to watch that live.
I will be there.
I will be there front and center. You just let me know.
Because now she's like Dr. Reverend Silky Nutmeg Ganache, the magician. Where does any of this come?
That's it. Introducing the majestic, the magical Dr. Reverend Silky Nutmeg Ganache!
I would like to see Silky in the next episode.
I would too.
But if I see Eureka, I'm gonna say it. I think she'll go home. Like, I think if she doesn't do well, she'll go home first. If Silky is back in, I think there's going to be, like, if she knocks it out of the park again, I think she legitimately will stay for like the final,
I'd love that if she stayed, because then you will see how hard she worked every week, and I don't think anyone will ever question that. And I think part of me thinks RuPaul. My hope is that RuPaul sees like, okay, Silky worked really hard. Yeah, the last lip sync was a little bit messy, but her track record of work, she should stay.
Yeah, it
is my hope. But Eureka didn't get that chance to like keep fighting, so that's also fair. Like,
right, and I guess you have like one person who stayed in the competition the whole time, didn't win. This is her first time in the bottom. One person who technically won 7 lip syncs. Like, track record wise, kind of Silky has a lot more on her.
Like, Silky literally won 7 lip syncs. I personally think she deserves a spot in the top 4, but
which I feel like has to be the most that someone's ever won, like in terms of lip syncs. Like
in one season, yeah.
Wow.
Because you're going home if you do that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cameron Michaels is the only one that ever came close, with 4.
4. It was still in the top.
And Taste.
Oh.
Another episode we talk about Taste. We always gotta talk about Taste. Because Taste, if you see this, we love you, Taste.
Such a big Taste stan.
I am a Taste stan. And I don't like calling myself a stan about things, but I'm a Taste stan.
I'm a Taste simp. That's how far I'm at.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm a Taste simp. Yeah, that's cool. That's fair. It's hurtful, but it's true. Hopefully Silky's there next week. We'll see what happens. But thank y'all for watching. And
yeah. Bye. I'll go.
Bye.